Elektromobilität ist nicht länger nur etwas für die Elite. Die Revolution hat begonnen. Der neue Citroën EC3 ab 23.300 €.
Neues von Ehrmann. Du hörst das Knistern, spürst die Vorfreude und schmeckst die Schokolade. Großer Genuss ist Grand Dessert von Ehrmann. Keiner macht mich mehr an.
Here in Sylt, and that is what we have got this morning. We've got wind, we've got waves. It's a little bit onshore, but it is definitely good enough. I've seen Marcilio Brown out there this morning busting out the doubles on starboard tack, so there is slightly a bit of an angle at the moment, and we are going straight into men's wave. That is the order of the day. We're going to have, obviously, women's wave later on today. This is a Grand Slam event, though, so you've got to remember we've got three different categories. We've got the foil, we've got the freestyle, and we've got the wave. We're kicking off. This is the opening day of action, but day 2 of this competition. Registration day yesterday, and it was going off like sideshore. I mean, such a shame we couldn't start the competition tomorrow. I mean, yesterday, because it would have been pretty epic. But that is the way this Sylt is. We've got 3 different categories. We've got 100 and something people to register, get stickers, get the sponsors and stuff. So you can't just go straight into action. So we will be going into action. We're kicking off at 8 o'clock, which is in about 5 minutes time. And yeah, here we go. Look at this stuff. I mean, look at we've got that inside. This is the first heats coming up. We got Thomas Traversa, we got Fleche in there, Mark Paré on his comeback, and Smooth from Germany. Going to be interesting. You know, Thomas Traversa is in that top end of the draw with Paré. Now we know how good Thomas Traversa here, you know, performs here in Sylt. It is one of his favourite events, which, you know, we associate Thomas Traversa with those crazy down the line, massive aerials, late hits. But actually, sailing onshore, he absolutely excels. And he is definitely one of the top seeds for this competition. He's won here before. He's always up there. It's interesting, but before we start, we're going to take a quick ad break, and we'll be coming straight back to deliver the action. Okay, so here we go. We are going into men's wave. Like I said, first heat coming up on the water. It's going to be interesting to see how everyone performs in these onshore winds. Like I say, slightly starboard tack. So pretty onshore with a bit of starboard tack. There's some meaty, chunky waves. We're going to see a lot of the guys riding out the back, and then towards the end of the heat, maybe coming to the inside. It's going to be interesting to see how, you know, people tackle these conditions, because it is not easy sailing Sylt. There is definitely some skill to it. It isn't that you can't go out there and get lucky. You know, you really have to know what you're doing. Let me know in the comments below who you're rooting for today. And I know what people are asking me. I'm getting messages left, right, and centre. What's going on with the world rankings? You know, like who's on top at the moment? Where can I see them? Well, there is some confusion at the moment. I won't mind telling you. There has been a bit of conflict in the way they do the scores between the PWA and the IWT, and it's not been totally confirmed yet. So there is a ranking, which is the IWT ranking, the live score ranking, I should say, and that is saying at the moment that Marino Gill is leading the world rankings. Victor Fernandez in second, Morgan Nareau in third, Philip Costa fourth, Marcilio Brown in fifth, Liam Dunkerbeck, Julian Salmon, Antoine Martin, Camille Juban, Robbie Swift. That's your top 10. Obviously, Marc Paré was injured for most this year, did well in Tenerife, but it wasn't a 5-star event, just a 4-star event. And a result here in Sylt would definitely move him right up the rankings and help his cause, because 3 events need to count at the moment, and at the moment he's only counting 2, so he could move quite well up the rankings if he delivers a good performance here. But this is Sylt. Anything can happen. First heat on the water. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Traverser, Fleche, Paré, and Smooth. I mean, there's plenty of wind. I mean, if you're going to have onshore, you want to get the breeze. That was the Neil Pride. In fact, that was a Neil Pride. Who's on the Neil Pride? I don't even know if anyone's on a Neil Pride in this heat. Looking down there, we should have a Hot Sails, a Gastra, a Simmer, and a Goya. There's the Hot Sails of Fleche. Obviously, we should have Marc Paré out there. He'll be on the Simmer. Obviously, Thomas Traversa. We saw him earlier, actually. It looked like he was on the blue sort of burgundy. There we go. There was one of the white sails. I think that was Smooth and Paré going past. I mean, Fleche is actually pretty much better known for his starboard tack, so this could suit him. Spends a lot of time over in Morocco over the years. And there we go. That's Thomas Traversa out the back. Oh, there he goes. That could be Thomas Traversa there, sorry. That is Thomas Traversa. Obviously, Britta, one of the sponsors of this Citroen Windsurfing World Cup. And obviously Citroen, funnily enough, headline sponsors this year, sponsoring the Windsurfing World Cup, which is really cool to see, you know, the vans that Citroen do. I know over in Portugal they're called the Jumpy, or the Jumper, which is the big one. But pretty solid vans if we're talking about windsurfing. So that is, I think, the green flag. I just heard a hooter outside, so I'm guessing that is the start of this heat. And you're probably wondering, what's happening? Well, it's a 13-minute heat, 2 waves, 2 jumps to count. If you do a jump and land back on the wave, it will count as a wave ride, because it is quite onshore. So if, for example, he lands that on the wave and carries on riding, it will count as a wave ride. That will count as a jump. This is Sol de Greek. She's not in this heat. She is in the, obviously, women's heats coming up. So she is not in the heat. There we go. There's Fleche. So smooth. It could, I mean, it's going to be difficult. It's onshore. So, oh, there's Paré, actually. He's on the blue sail. So it's the new simmer sail, blue and a burgundy. Yeah, it's you gotta change your brain when you're riding onshore. A lot different to what we saw yesterday here. If anyone didn't see the video from yesterday, I suggest you check out the highlights because we had full cross-shore action yesterday. It was some insane stuff going on. But Paré making the most of this. Yeah, exactly. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. One of the best guys in the world coming through. We got Jan on the comments saying, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Where are the drones? The drones will be out there. That is for sure. The Wave Rally World Championships is on. So Paul Van Bellen in the house. We've obviously got a new look scoring system by the, looking at that. Top left. No scores on the doors at the moment. I'm sure we're going to see a wave ride drop in from Paré. Here he is, Mark Paré. Say, can't really afford a bad result here in Sylt. But if you're counting on any results, Sylt is not an easy one, that's for sure. There's no guarantees. I've been out there. Well, I was actually saying when we got picked up from the airport the other day, they were like, oh, have you been to Sylt before? I was like, yes. First event was in 2004. That's 20 years ago. So, yeah, I've done a fair few Sylts in my time. So there's a couple of takeaways from those 20 years. One thing is you've got to stay in the game psychologically because you do not know what is happening to the other guys in your heat. Sometimes some of the lowest scores can get you through. It ain't easy out there. You've got to keep trucking on. But you can get some big scores. There's some chunky sections. Oh, smooth, trying to do a little forward down that wave. We're going to see jumps both ways. Yeah, someone saying drones are in Pozo. That's a windy place. We will be seeing drones today. Don't you worry. They will be going out there. So it is, well, okay, that's interesting because we are not doing four-man heats. It's man-on-man heats, if you can see that. Traverser leading against Flesh 8, and it's Paré against Smooth. I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. I missed the beginning of the briefing. I'm sorry. But I'm here to bring you the live action, and it's going to be a long day today. So, yeah, these guys aren't in the heat. It's going to be tricky for the camera guys because, obviously, people are going out early for the heat. They don't want to get stuck on the inside. That can happen. So, these guys are not in the heat. The black and the yellow is Flesh A. The blue is Paré. So, this is Paré leading at the moment. He's got a 4-point wave ride, just a 0.5 on his jump. That is going to change when he locks in that back loop. I wonder if we're going to see, let's say he gets a 4 and a 6. Are we going to see up there on the live scoring a 4,6, or are we going to see 10 points? Because it's, if so, you want to see the individual scores coming through. I suggest you go on the PWA website and you can see a breakdown of the scores. Yeah, so there we go. Paré actually has a 288 and a 112 on the wave scores. And a 462 for that back loop. So that is interesting. Yeah, so it is adding up the scores on the top. There might be a time with the scoring at the top when you see the individual waves maybe. But this still gives you an idea of what's counting. And we will be hopefully getting in some co-commentators during the day. Nice clean forward loop from Paré. And if you do want to ask me some questions, because it will be one of those days, you can treat it a little bit like a windsurfing podcast because, you know, 12, was it 13, 12-minute heat? So brain has already gone. 13-minute heat, yeah, 30-minute heat. We're going to have, you know, some empty action with the onshore stuff. But we'll see some chunky hits towards the end of the heat. Casper Nilsson saying Mark is the local hero in Klitmuller these days. Oh, there we go. Drone is out on the water. And there is, it isn't 4 minutes left in this heat. There is a timing issue, I'm pretty sure, because we heard the hooter a bit later when we said, there you go. It gives you a much better idea of the proper landscape these guys are dealing with out there, doesn't it? When you see the drone, you really get to see exactly what is going on. I mean, I always remember here in Sylt, the hardest thing was just you'd see a wave, you'd see a peak, and by the time you get to where you think it was going to do something, it wouldn't always do what you expected it to do. And that is quite a big bit of the battle. There we go. Paré going for the double. Starboard tack double in super onshore. I mean, he gets it round, which is pretty impressive. Will it be a big score? Well, maybe not. But still, impressive stuff from Mark Paré there. This is smooth. So Paré means business. It's the first time I've actually seen the new simmer sail. You know, when you've got these high rollers in the team, you don't always see it. But I've seen it, I'm just not in real life, not in action. Oh, there we go. That was not bad from Flachet, still forward. We've got Kurt out there, says good morning from Belgium. Take care of your voice. I know, my voice is already cracking a little bit. A bit worried, considering we've literally just started. We've got a fair few heats to go through. So Miguel Chapuis is heading out. At the moment, leading Traversa and Paré. Although I'm not sure that score's updated, has it? Not for me, but no. No, the scores don't seem to be updating. Moment, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But like I said, the live scoring is on the website, and it's actually Flachet who is leading ahead of Thomas Traversa right now. So this would be a kind of a pretty big upset if Flachet could do the damage over Thomas Traversa. As I said to you before, Thomas Traversa is one of the guys that you'd kind of have down for being a kind of Sylt specialist. Traversa looked like he was, you know, pumping to try and find a wave then. Paré's going to the inside, so he must be getting towards the end of this heat because he has come to the inside, because this is where you're going to score the proper points, because there's some chunky sections as he rides the inside bit there. It actually looked quite a nice finish to that wave. Okay, so Paré, I think he's just coming off the beach now. So is that the end of his ride? Took him there, or is that one of the guys coming out? Oh, that is Paré, so he finished right on the beach, Mark Paré. So that'll be good for him to score and probably guarantee him into the next round. He's got 5 points for that double. I mean, and rightly so. It's onshore. There we go. Traversa with a inside section and makes it not easy to do a front side here in the onshore conditions. And that might be enough to give him the lead. So Flachet was leading until that point, but I have a feeling when they put that wave in from Thomas Traversa, that will put him in the lead. And you can see there's quite a lot of angle now on the starboard tack, so we might see him riding a bit more on the inside. As soon as you've got a bit more angle, you can flirt a little bit more with the shore break, and it looks like Paré is doing just that. So, yeah, just to give you an update on the scores, 4.62 for the back loop from Paré, 5 points for the double forward, 3.62 for the last wave, and a 2.88 sitting comfortably in first place with 16 points. Thomas Traversa, on my score sheet, I'm going to refresh here because it's still got him in Oh no, he's moved into first place. 4.88 for that last wave, and it gives it a really small lead, but it's a lead. It's a 1-point lead ahead of Flèche. So still not all over on the Battle of the Frenchies on the A side of this draw. Paré on the inside. Oh, 360 gets absolutely trawled. Okay, so probably getting towards the end of this heat. I'll tell you when I hear the hooter, but Thomas Traversa, a slender lead here. Needs this probably to guarantee 360. Oh, he makes it. Wow, that is not easy. And he was under a bit of pressure there. Frontside 360 into a backside hit. That'll do. Thank you very much. And that's probably going to guarantee him a spot in the next round. Really solid finish to that heat from Traversa. Like I said, a lot of them were taking it easy, bit cautious, playing on the outside. And then as soon as they've come to the inside, that's where the big points are going to get dished out. And there we go. That's the hooter. This was Fléche's last chance saloon. Not a bad finish. But, oh, he's going to get smashed down. Okay, so we're going to round out the results. It does look like Marc Paré and Thomas Traversa safely through to the next round. But we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Yeah, got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with them. Take it to around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with them.
Everything should end and begin at sunrise. And in between, there should be the sea, the food, the people, the music, the wind, love, and pleasure. I'm 42 years old, and this is my first sunrise. There are 1,000 reasons to come to Punta Cana to watch this sunrise, and 999 more. Taste the paradise. Taste Punta Cana.
Okay, so we're up with heat number 2 here. Leon Jama going against Chapuis. Wow, that's actually quite a big matchup there, early doors. And Morgan Nero against Tobias Bjorna. Not an easy one. Obviously, as I said earlier, Morgan Nero sitting right up there in the world rankings. He's in 3rd place at the moment. So, yeah, big heat. Bjorna, not an easy customer. And Miguel Chapuis and Leon Jama, these were two of the standout sailors yesterday. Leon Jama was out there earlier, and he's got a lot of experience here in Sylt. A lot of experience here in Sylt, Leon Jama. I mean, with the German championships and all this. And they are Flickr teammates. So Miguel Chapuis just tacking around on the North Sail and Flickr board. Yeah, so Chris Surfing, why is there no results from Tenerife and Peru in the rankings on the Speedway homepage? If you go to the rankings, there is a live score rankings. So on the Speedway page, go to rankings. At the bottom, there's a live score ranking. There is massive discussions going on for, I mean, I don't really know how to say it anymore. Oh, look at that, Morgan Nareau, back loop on the inside. Nice. Nice, so Morgan Nareau, great. Backy there on the inside, judges will like that. But yeah, there is some big discussions going on. The PWA and the IWT, they've just got a difference of opinion. If you want me to go into it at some point, I can do, but yeah, it's a lot to do with how many points are evened up. I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm on the one side. I'm definitely, it's quite clear cut for me. I don't know why there's a big discussion, but you know, that's not my department. All to do with equal points and how many points you can share. Oh, lovely tweet, shove it for Leon Jammer. Oh, it goes straight into a 360, but doesn't make it. Maybe we should put it to the vote. Let you guys at home decide about the scoring. But there is, like I said, there is an overall ranking, but it's the live score ranking. Okay. Well, I'm guessing the clock is still wrong because it says 5 minutes and 20 to go until the end of the heat, which feels like we've only just started, unless my my inner clock is out. But yes, we got Morgan Nareau out in the mix right now. So how are we looking? What scores have dropped in? We've got a push loop from Chapuis, scored a 3.38. Morgan Nareau, though, 5 for the back loop. And a 2.88 for his first wave. So leading the way at the moment, Nareau ahead of Bjorna. And Chapuis ahead of Leon Jammer. This bit of clue first ride in. Sometimes you're going to have to pull out the clue first ride in here in Sylt. These onshore conditions. Jammer. It's good to see they're all mixing it up with the shore break. Goes for the 360. It goes down hard on the inside. Say Leon Jammer has got, you know, probably the most experience, or at least in the whole competition. I'm trying to think who might have more experience than Leon Jammer here in Sylt. I mean, I guess he's semi-young, so some of the guys who've been doing the PLOA would have done a lot of events here in Sylt. But Tobias Bjorn from Denmark landing a super clean backy. Only Phillips says, good morning. So good to hear your voice. Oh, thanks, mate. In the morning. And I know I had a few comments on the video from yesterday saying, why didn't you compete yesterday? And I tell you what, it was epic viewing yesterday. I mean, the boys are doing good today, but it's obviously a bit more tricky with the onshore. But Leon Jammer doing a good, Miguel Chapuis doing a good job of that till dropping off the back. But it was fun to watch yesterday. You know, the judges not getting paid yesterday, but most of them in the judging booth watching, cheering, shouting. There was some big moves getting thrown down. So nice and hard. Love it. Hope the snow will come to add to the drama. Cheers, Philip. Not too keen on snowing, I'll be honest. Like I say, good to see Citroen coming on, sponsoring the 40th year of Sylt. I've been coming for 20 years, so it's been going 20 years before that, which is kind of crazy. Anyone out there got a Citroen van? Come on, let us know. I'm sure there's a few of you with a Citroen van. I mean, van sponsors in windsurfing just make sense. Obviously, Citroen make cars as well, but as windsurfers, I think we're interested in the vans. Or maybe you're not. Maybe let me know. Clue first wave ride there from Leon Jammer. Make him sound French. He's obviously German. It's not how you say his name. Oh, double forward from Chapuis is on the board. A 6-1-2, biggest double score of the day. That puts a bit of pressure on Leon Jammer. This is Tula heading out, but he's not in the heat. Tula. In the background, though, you can see Miguel Chapuis. There he is. He's had a double, and now he's got the push loop. And that's the thing with Miguel Chapuis. People don't realise how good he is on starboard tack jumping. You know, comes from Trifa, and he's got a really solid starboard tack jumping score. So this, you know, slightly win from a little bit from starboard tack now is going to suit Chapuis, and he's doing some solid scores here. Already on 13 points, waiting for that push loop to drop in, and that should extend his lead ahead of Leon Jammer. Still got to find the waves, obviously, but solid at the moment from Miguel Chapuis. A double 6-1-2 is going to be, that's going to be tricky for Jammer to find. He's going to need to find some big waves here. Did he see it? Back loop leading at the moment from Bjorna, 4-4-3. He's not leading the heat, but it's one of the bigger back loop scores, although Morgan Nareau with a 5-point back loop. And it is Morgan Nareau with actually quite a good lead there, over 5 points. This is Miguel Chapuis. Could he cause an upset? You know, taking down Jammer, this would be, you know, I don't want to say an upset because we know how good Miguel Chapuis, but this is a difficult heat. You know, Leon Jammer wouldn't have wanted to draw Miguel. Looks like he's sailing on the crossover sail, which is, I think, their power wave sail from North Sails. What you need here in Sylt. This is Jammer, backside no. I wonder what we're going to get this week. With the forecast is a bit of a mixed bag. Changing all over the place. Okay, so Miguel Chapuis still leading. We haven't seen that push loop drop in from Chapuis. We saw it. Our own eyes, though. So it did happen. Did the judges see it? That's the question. You know, if you're too far left of the judges' tower, too far right, you might not get scored. You can only have a certain amount of area you can do your jumps in. Refresh of this. Morgan Nareau still leading. Miguel Chapuis still leading. Bias Bjorna just dropped to 2.5 on his last wave. Here we go. This is Miguel Chapuis. What's he got for us? Oh, thinks better of it. And even then still gets trawled. Wow. Oh, and he's lost the gear. He's got a bit of a swim. Good job he's got a half-decent score in. This is Tobias Bjorner. Can he do something on the inside on the waves? I mean, he needs to get that second jump back up. He hasn't really got it at the moment. More a port tack sailor, but going for a wave ride on the inside here. Look at this thing. Oh, so onshore. You know, sometimes switching it around clew first can really help get you around the corner. You see some of the veterans of this spot, that's what they're going to do. They're going to switch it up to clew first. You can still do a decent turn clew first, but you don't get that backwind that you get in the onshore conditions. It can be a nice little tool to use. There you go. There's the clew first from Leon Jammer. And there you go. So you don't get that back-winded thing, and you can just finish the turn much better. Again, people have got different opinions on that, but I think it's definitely a worthwhile skill to put into the heats. So not long to go in this heat. Morgan Nareau, Miguel Chapuis are looking like going through unless something drastically changes here. And like I said, this is one of the big heats of this first round, the Jammer Chapuis one. This is definitely the one where you thought, woof, Leon's got a difficult first heat, and Tobias Bjorner trying a 360 at the end. It doesn't come off. Morgan Nareau going to finish up here, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. He's already through in this heat, and Jammer will be sent packing by Chapuis. Wow. Leon was one of the first guys out yesterday. There was some chunky sets yesterday. I don't know if you saw the pictures from John Carter. Had a really nasty 360 crash, 1 foot in the strap. I don't know if you saw that picture. If you didn't check the pictures from yesterday, there are some pretty epic pictures. But yeah, Leon was a bit of the star of the show in the early doors, but he's out. Miguel Chapuis. And, you know, is it a shock? Well, not really. Miguel has been sailing super well this year. So we're going to take a short ad break, and we'll be back to bring you heat number 3 coming up next.
Elektromobilität ist nicht länger nur etwas für die Elite. Die Revolution hat begonnen. Der neue Citroën EC3 ab 23.300 Euro.
Neues von Ehrmann. Du hörst das Knistern, spürst die Vorfreude und schmeckst die Schokolade. Großer Genuss ist Grand Dessert von Ehrmann. Keiner macht mich mehr an.
Okay, so here we go. Heat number 3, Sugi versus Friedel, Fernandez versus Tula. And there we go, there is Mr. Sugi, Mr. Friedel, Fernandez and Tula. Obviously Tula from Denmark, Fernandez from Spain, so is Friedel, and then Sugi from Japan. So a bit of a mixed bag in here. And Tula already kicking off with a push loop, 3.88, Simon Tula. is the conditions we have got right now. It is pretty menacing on the inside. But there is a bit of starboard tack angle, which does make it saleable. Doesn't make it easy, but it's saleable. And Sugi could be interested on starboard tack. You know, he is definitely pretty solid on starboard tack. Obviously sailing in Japan, Omazaki and stuff like this. And it looks like Friedel's going to have a bit of a baptism of fire. Or is he? Maybe he's been to Sylt before, actually, Friedel. Your first time here. I remember Philip Costa's first time here. He was leading the world's rankings and then didn't make it off the beach in his first ever Sylt heat. He got absolutely smashed. And it was a bit of an eye-opener. Oh, Sugi! Oh, nearly gets the death bowl on the inside. The Great Escape music is playing. Actually, I don't know the Great Escape music. I think I do, but I'm not going to do it just in case it's not. Casper Nielsen says he loves his Citroen. There we go. Good to know. There's some Citroen van owners out there. Look at this, Sugi. Oh, Sugi's got a ramp. No, he hasn't. He's in between. He's in between ramps. We got foil slalom later in the day, says Roland. I'm not so sure, mate. I don't think we'll be doing foil slalom today. The forecast is changing around, though. At one point, it looked crazy the whole week. Now it's got moments of brilliance but some different stuff. It's gone east on one day. So, I mean, the forecast really is not consistent. At the moment, Sugi. Oh, it's a pile driver into the mast. Going for the planing forward on the way in. Yeah, still people asking why we didn't sail yesterday. It's not an official competition day yesterday. You know, this is a Grand Slam event, so you've got, you know, foiling, you've got freestyle, you've got waves. That's 100 odd competitors all need to register. They have to do the seed-ins, get the stickers, sort the gear out. So it really is, you know, like a big undertaking. So it's never really been an official sailing day. It has happened before in the past if the week looks terrible. But, you know, it isn't on the calendar. So if you change the event and say, okay, the event starts today, yesterday is not an event day, then that would make more sense. That's kind of how it is, really. Duarte saying 3:35 in Brazil. Good morning. Good morning. That's early. 3:35 in the morning. He's just come back. He's on the beers. Oh, on the inside port tack forward loop. Here we go. Sugi going on a jump run here on the GA. Taboo gear. What's he got for us? See that Friedel going for the port tack jumps, even though it's pretty onshore. You know, he comes from Pozo. Here we go, Sugi, Baki. Bread and butter for that guy. Bread and butter, easy. It's not that warm out there. I wouldn't say it was freezing, because it's not freezing, but it's pretty chilly. Just basically because it's so early. It was this morning when I came down to the beach, which was like 7:30. It was, yeah, a bit of chill in the air, let's say. Go. So this is Simon Tula on the outside trying to ride this wave. And not really getting it. 4-4 from Simon Tula. He's not a small fella, Tula. So he's pretty breezy to be on the 4-4. Look at that. Who sails in conditions like this? It's reminiscent of your local beach. Tula. Let's have a look at this live score and see what is getting thrown down at the moment. It is Tula ahead of Victor Fernandez. Remember, Victor Fernandez is in this heat. Not the back loop from... Actually, say another back loop. That is... There we go. This might just change things. Victor Fernandez on the inside. That'll be a counting wave score, and that will actually put him in the lead once the score drops in. Takuma Sugi, Japan, number 7. Backside, shove it into wave ride. This is the hardest thing. As soon as you do that, if that white water catches your board, it basically pushes the board away from you and kills all the power in your sail. And that is one of the most trickiest things to navigate here in Sylt when riding onshore waves like now. You know, if that's a bigger wave, again, it pushes the board away from you and you literally just, your sail just empties of power, and then you end up obviously going in the water, getting washed away. Bit of personal news, someone's just drove through our front gate at home in the night. Totally demolished our front gate. Brilliant. That's good news. That's what you want to hear. Oh, God. No one's been injured. That's good. But we don't have a front gate. Great. I know you all wanted to hear that news. All right, so this is the next heat. He's not in this heat at the moment. He's just going out there warming up. That is Ferraro. But obviously, he's coming up in the next heat. It does make sense to go out there early for these heats in Sylt, but it is pretty difficult for obviously the guys on the camera. Here we go, Victor Fernandez. Look at this thing lining up. Go on, son. Big backside shove it. He's going to get a front side hit here. This could be dangerous because there's a lot of white water. Chose to go for the forward loop, but yeah, I think he was thinking about the front side hit, but that would have been tricky. Oh, there we go. There's the back winder. Yeah, if anyone got any good stories about your front gates or garage doors, Paul Van Balen just messaged. He's broke his front gate as well. Great. Good day. Good day. We've got beautiful Sylt early morning sun. Love it. Let me know in the comments below. Robert DeLu, good morning. It's nice to watch some windsurfing before heading to the beach myself. It's going to be a long day for you, Benny. It is. It's going to be a long week. I don't know how long day. It's going to be a long week. Wave Rally World Championship says Tula needs a sponsorship from Tula. I agree. The roof racks, is it that they make the roof racks? I always remember Tula as roof rack company. How much wind is there? It's a good question. Tula is on a 4.4 we saw. So, and he's a big fella. So it's pretty windy. I don't know, like I don't really deal in knots anymore as a windsurfer. I just deal in sail sizes. So if someone says how windy is it, I don't say, oh, it's 25 knots, it's 30 knots, it's 15 knots. I usually say, oh, it's 6-0 weather, oh, it's 4-5 weather. I know that's not very useful because you don't know how long I hold that sail for. But does anyone else do that? Or does everyone else talk in miles an hour, knots, kilometers an hour? What's the go-to? I think I've lost track of how windy it is. I'd like to say 25 knots, maybe. Would that be a guess? Oh, Victor Fernandez on the inside, frontside 360, and sails away. That is what he does. He's in the run-in for a world title this year. Been super consistent. World rankings at the moment, Victor Fernandez sits in second place, super close to first. So Takuma Sugi is looking good at the moment. Really big lead ahead of Morales, and Victor Fernandez dropping a 7.78 for that 360. 7.78. I mean, it's going to be very hard for Tula to make some inroads into that. That's a big wave score, and Simon Tula might be swimming just looking at that. I can see a Patrick gear in the water. So Victor Fernandez just dropped a 7.76, and he's just got smashed. The Danish rider, he'll be used to these type of cold conditions, but yeah, when you're coming up against Victor Fernandez, it's never easy. I'm still getting over the trauma of losing my front gate. Oh, Jesus. God. Anyone else lost a front gate? Come on. Let me know, it's going to be a long day. Dominic says a little bit further down, says 23 knots. Yeah, there we go. See, I was said 25. I was thinking about that. There's some big gusts coming through, but on a whole. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but it does look like Victor Fernandez and Takuma Sugi got through that heat and into the next round. Okay, we are back up and running, and we've got some interesting heats. Jules Denel coming up, going against Adam Varchol. This will be a tricky heat for both riders here. And then we've got the world rankings leader, Marino Gill, going against Tim Van Dam. So Tim Van Dam, obviously better known for his port tack. It's going to be tricky for him here, I would have said. But Marino Gill, obviously better known for port tack, but when you're leading the world rankings, he is definitely leveling up right now. But Denal and Varchol, this could be a really interesting battle on that side of it. Varchol sailing really well yesterday. Obviously, it was a lot more side shore. So how will he do in these onshore conditions? Denal has always been a bit of a master of these sort of onshore stuff. Just manages to get some solid wave rides in. Yeah, and put some damage down. So, yeah, let's see how this plays out. Varchol already landing a 2.38 forward loop. This is Tim Van Dam on this gun sail and Bruce boards. Back loop in the background on port tack from Marino Gill. Super onshore, and even Marino Gill doesn't land it. Obviously Marino on Neil Pride and JP this year. And it's been a good signing for the Neil Pride and JP crew. I mean, well, he's leading the world rankings. He's won Pozo. I mean, yeah, it's definitely been a good signing. They can be happy about that recruiting. Nope. On that Neil Pride, as I said before, forward loop off the inside stuff, doesn't get back in the wave. No, onshore Sylt, when you're leading the world rankings, is not an easy competition. Oof. Just got spat out on that inside. Look, it disappeared for a while. That Jules Denell. No, it's not Jules Denell. Is that Vacho? Yes, it is. Vacho. Martin says, really nice morning skies. This is Jules Denell. He's got a change of sponsors this year. I mean, going to Gastra and Taboo. Live score is gone on YouTube. Maybe they are fixing something. It could be something to do with trying to get the graphic on the screen. Again, I haven't heard, but it would make sense because they're definitely trying to figure something out. Jules now fighting with that inside short break. It really is a battle out there. This is, you know, people have had mixed feelings on Sylt, but Sylt can really deliver some good conditions, as we saw yesterday. But it also delivers this type of sailing, which, yes, it's not what everyone dreams of, but there's a massive skill set you need to be able to master to be able to look good in these conditions, and the best guys can do it. They really can. As we saw earlier, we've seen, you know, 360s from Thomas Traversa, Victor Fernandez. Is that any shock? You know, some of the best guys in the world pulling off some big moves. Seen double forward from Paré, from Chapuis. You know, these guys are looking good early doors. So yes, it might be not that dreamy down the line today, but you've got to pull out a whole new skill set. You know, it's not warm. That's another thing that you've got to master. So there's a lot going on, and there's that onshore, you know, bottom turn is really difficult. You've got no face to work with, really onshore, and you can easily get back-winded, as we saw there with Varchol. We got Costa saying, looks like 30 to 35 knots to me. I mean, it could be, because it's pretty onshore, but I would say maybe 25, 30 knots, maybe. It's windy, it's onshore, it needs to be windy. Bam. Nice forward loop there on starboard tack from Marino. This is Varchol. Spent a bit of time in Maui, Adam Varchol. But has he spent enough time in Sylt? Because this is a different ball game. Jan says, good morning. Good morning. Moffy Media is looking windy, apparently. We've got to celebrate that. I mean, it's good. Yogi T, one of the sponsors of this event as well. Obviously, Citroen is the main sponsor this year. So if you're going to buy a van and you're looking at vans, maybe, you know, that should maybe edge your decision, because they've got some decent sized windsurfing vans. I've been looking at the Jumpy. Is it called the Jumpy? I think in Portugal it's called the Jumpy. Maybe it's called different name in different parts of the world. I'm not sure, but it's like the smaller mid-sized van. I think usually in the car companies though, like the commercial side compared to the car side is a totally different department usually. So I think they've got the Space Tourer I saw here, which is like their version of like a little mini sort of van camper. But I know most windsurfers are looking at the commercial vehicles. And we will get onto this, but what is the you know, there's a van out there that they don't make, and I'm sure it's that mid-size van with, you know, with all the trim and all the good stuff, but with 2 seats in the back, 2 seats in the front, that you could take the 2 seats out in the back, but, you know, then you've got a windsurfing van as well. Oh, inside section from Varchol gets smashed on that inside, and that's what you're dealing with. He's going to get that in the face as well. No, actually he doesn't. I thought that might end up smashing him a bit. World Rally, Wave Rally World Championship says, cool, they've got a tea sponsor. Times have changed from Peter's house. Exactly, but I thought Yogi Tea might be a good podcast sponsor, you know. Set up your tea and then get on to chatting to some of the greats of the sport. I think that's quite a cool sponsor. We'll have to get on it, Mr. Van Bellen. Yogi. I like it. I like the logo. Gonna have to get rid of the beer money, bring in the tea. Times have changed. It's so true. Where's all those alcohol sponsors and stuff gone? I'm in for the tea. I'm in for the tea. Here we go. Adam Varchol. What has he got for us? Let's have a look. See if we've got the live scoring back. Yes, we have. So Dinell 3.62 for the back loop in there. Varchol losing out in the waves at the moment. It's Dinell with a, I know it doesn't sound a lot, but a 2.38. That's still a completed wave, which in Sylt, that's the hardest thing. Varchol already checking his watch. And you know when people are checking their watch, it's like they're a little bit under pressure. They know it's not been going great. He knows he hasn't basically nailed any waves so far, and that can be the difference. On the other side of the draw, Marino Gill is leading ahead of Tim Van Dam. I mean, it's definitely a really good setup here in Sylt. You've even got like the tea going on with the ginger and everything, so it's pretty impressive, although I've just burnt myself with ow. But it's meant to save my voice, that's what I'm hearing. So we'll see. If it saves my voice, bit of ginger tea. I think the Yogi tea, they've got so many different flavours. They're all in German though, that's my only problem. I have to get a translator. So Marino Gill, Jules Dinell leading at the moment, but super close between Varchol actually and Jules Dinell. This is another one of those going to be close matchups, no doubt about it. Moritz Mauk out there, the new Simmer rider. Why aren't you here? He says, looking good. Miss you guys. Hopefully next year. He'd have liked it yesterday. It was, like I say, it was firing. Such a shame. But it was such a good watch. I know you don't want to hear that, but yesterday was just really fun to watch, just in general. Oh, there we go. Port tack back loop from Marino Gill. I mean, it is literally starboard tack, and he's jumping on port tack, so you can see how onshore it is. But when you're one of the best port tack jumpers in the world, you can make it happen. Here we go. Matt Cheprakovsky saving the day here. The Jumpy is the small van. The Jumper is the proper one. That's like the, for anyone who doesn't know, like the Fiat Ducato size, you know, that sort of square one. I guess you want the Jumper length with the Jumpy height. Yeah, but there's a lot. That's actually quite a good idea. Really long Jumpy. I know in France it's a disaster now, isn't it? Like they've got all these barriers on the car park, so you can't take big vans in, and it kind of seems to be happening in most places, which it's quite scary as a van driver. I drive a big van. we go. This is Marino Gill on the inside on port tack. That's pretty impressive. Martin Wynn says better a tea sponsor than the energy drink stuff. Promote the. I'm into a tea sponsor. I think that's a great sponsor. I'm drinking tea all day. Contrary to popular belief. I love a nice cup of tea. Although we're going to have to educate him on English tea with a bit of milk in it. This is like the fancy tea. Getting into the fancy tea though. You know times are changing when you're into your fancy tea. I'm getting into it. I'll have to have a word with Mr. Yogi or Mrs. Yogi. There we go. Marino Girl. What's he got for us on the Sylt shore break? Actually, what board? Is that Marino? What board's he on? I've just realised. Is that like a custom Sylt board, maybe? Interesting. Maybe he's borrowed a big one off someone. Because you do need a big board in here, even if there's wind with that much current smashing around. You need one. Got Jan saying, Ben, are you looking for a mixto? Front seats and row behind that. Yeah, I want a van with seats in the back because I've got baby now. Building up a family. I need extra seats. It's never been a problem. Now I'm actually having real world problems. Multiplying. Don't know how it happens. And there we go. That is the end of the heat. Well, we didn't see massive exchanges in that heat, did we? So maybe that's a sign that the wind is dropping. Oh, and as I say that, big forward on the inside. Yeah, look at that big old juicy one back in. What we got here? We got Thomas saying today wave, Monday and Tuesday freestyle, and foil slalom. Again, the forecast is changing a lot. You know, when you're up at this end of the world, things can change pretty quickly. You're kind of in the middle of those systems. So maybe some of you guys out there have got a better idea of what's going to happen. But yeah, I like the van chat. I'd love to see it. I don't know if Citroen have got it, but I'd love to see a proper van advert for sports people, you know, like you don't see it very often, do you? It's kind of weird, like in mountain biking, which I, you know, spend a bit of time doing, windsurfing, surfing. I mean, there's definitely, I don't think I've ever seen a proper commercial for like an action van, apart from the camper style vans, which is interesting because there's got to be a market. I guess it's not as big as some of their other markets, but definitely interesting. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have a word with Citroen. I'm gonna have a word with them. I'm gonna say, hey, you know what? Let's do a van. Let's do like an action van, which is, what is an action van? Is there a market? Come on, let me know out there. Is there a van where you get obviously seats in the front, you get the option of seats in the back, and then there's maybe like a parcel shelf in the back to put your bike or your windsurfing stuff? Let me know in the comments. Okay, Antoine Albert, we got Flesche, your number 2 in this one. We've got Philip Costa going against Ferraro. Ferraro landed a planing double in Pozo this year. Wow. Like I said, Costa, he'll have mixed feelings from Sylt. He's had some good competitions here, and I'm going to use this opportunity to say, no, nicely, but you know when you say someone nearly beat him, I nearly had him. I just needed a backlip. I can't believe it. I could have beat Costa at Sylt and I messed it up. But those days are gone. Now I'm in the commentary booth watching him kill it in Sylt. So he's definitely got better here over the years. There we go. Port tack, backy. So the wind is maybe gone a bit more onshore, which means it's going to be harder to ride, or is that just a Costa move where he's actually doing a back loop on the way in? It probably is, actually, looking at his angle. I mean, that's the crazy thing with Sylt. You can jump both ways. So Antoine Albert, he could be a bit of a danger man today. He's does a bit of everything. Antoine Albert. There we go. You see how much forward lift he gets there. Not easy technique to do. Makes it look easy, but you can see there's definitely more angle on starboard tack to do the jumps, but Costa with his skills does it on the port tack. Forward loop there from Fleshay. Already seen his brother put up a good performance against Thomas Traversa, and there's the forward loop from Costa. So 2 jumps in the bag. 4.62 for the first back loop from Costa. There'll be a lower score for that forward loop, but he has ticked both of the boxes now, and he can concentrate on finding some waves. There's Antoine Albert trying to get a forward loop on the wave. Doesn't quite make it in. Who's going sailing today? Who's watching this as a bit of a warm-up? So Costa on the right, the Severn gear, obviously Red Bull logo. Imagine that Yogi becomes the new Red Bull. All these athletes sponsored by Yogi Tea. I'm in. Where do I sign? Give me the tea. Give me the tea. Tea's the new energy. Look how onshore that was then. You can see the leech started flapping on that bottom turn. He's like, nah, I don't think so. If anyone wants to join me in the commentary booth, you don't have to join me for hours and hours, but come in for like 20 minutes, do a couple of heats, and then you can go off on your merry way. You know you want to. You know you want to. Otherwise, those poor people at home are going to have to listen to me talking to myself the whole day. Love it. So, Fleshay. What has he got for us? Go, Antoine Albert, right on the inside, not easy. Ooh, definitely not easy. He's risked it. What size gear is Philip Costa on? Who's got good eyesight? Or a good zoom? I would imagine if we saw 4.4, he's going to be in the 4.7 region, maybe 4. I mean, doesn't look big, does it? Maybe 4.7 for Costa. He's a big fella. He's lost a bit of weight, though. Go on. Who's got the eyesight? Maybe we can shout to him. Where are you watching from? Let me know. We've got a few people watching, tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, who's going to win the world title this year. A lot of questions to be answered. Obviously, we've got Maui coming up after Sylt, but Sylt could have a big say in this world title race. Looks like we're going to get a result. This is Fleshay getting a little bottomed out there. Manages to hold it on, and now he's got the side swipe, but survives. Yeah, I'm seeing a bit of talk about onshore. It's not easy, I won't lie. You know, if we had the choice, we'd want the sideshore that we had yesterday. It was literally just non-stop carnage, action, big moves, everything. It was the dream. It would have been the dream Sylt. We've had some good, actually. People, you know, sometimes say stuff about Sylt when not delivering. It's been delivering. We've had some great conditions here over the years. We've got Nancy watching from Naxos. I saw a nasty kite crash in Naxos the other day. It came up on my Instagram feed. Some dude ended up on the beach. Looked pretty brutal. Sasha, greetings from Dusseldorf. Guten Morgen. Moin moin, as they say over here. Got Gran Canaria tuning in by the looks of it, Stuttgart. We got neighbouring island, Flu. Athens is tuning in. South of France, Morocco. We've got a mixed bag. Bulgaria. Oh, there's the port tack Mackie. You can see some people favour port jack jumping over starboard tack. Cali tuning in. Brussels. There we got Roland in Cali. Mauricio in Brussels. Got Jip tuning in from Normandy in his bed. Hamburg's tuning in. Moin, 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 moin. Oh, it's only one moin in Sylt, not moin, moin. Sorry, apologies. What's moin, moin mean? Munich, more Athens, London calling. Dee, 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 dee. I won't put you through a bit of singing. But we have got onshore today. It's not non-stop action, I won't lie to you, but we are getting action. We are getting stuff coming through. We've got, like I said, people tuning in from all over the world. Val saying Furta, Frankfurt, Berlin. There's a lot of Germans tuning in. Barcelona, Slovenia. Costa's not having a great time here, is he? I think he's still leading. Got Jan saying, watching from Northern Germany, rooting for Paris, and of course, Julian. Netherlands. I was going to say, is that the first Dutch we've got tuned in? Usually there's a load of Dutch users. Obviously, Wind in Holland right now. Hossiger in France tuning in. Fleche is leading against Antoine Albert, but Costa is leading against Ferraro. He's had a double forward. I missed that. 7.95 for Costa on the double forward. That's the biggest double forward of the day. We've got Malta saying, moin from Kiel. Met you in Martigny 2 years ago. I'll remember if I saw your face. Not very good with names. Ludbeck, Dutch, Holland. We've got a few Dutchies. Looks dark out there, doesn't it? West Wales, James Crocker tuning in. Vancouver, Canada. Yogi T, Citroen, beaming themselves all over the world. Who's had a Yogi T? Anyone into Yogi T? I was going to say, when you guys are watching this, are you watching for the epic action? Are you watching them how they navigate these conditions? Because there's a lot of skills on offer here, and sometimes it's, unless you've sailed in these conditions, maybe it's difficult to appreciate just how tricky it is. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think when you watch this sort of stuff? We got someone saying it's Traverser competing. He's already competed and already won. He's through to the next round. We've got 2 minutes left in this heat. Costa looking like he's already got it wrapped up. On the other side of the draw, could we see Flesche take down Antoine Albert? At the moment, it's looking right. Yogi T powered Flesche is going to take down Antoine Albert. Still early days. He's not even really got a proper jump in. In fact, nor has Flesche got big scores in. He's got his jumps filled, though. Needs one more wave score with 2 minutes to go. Or maybe that's gone now, so maybe it's not 2 minutes to go. It felt about right, didn't it? Oh, there's the shot. It was big. It was big. Big Shaka off the lip coming in. Lands in the flats. You're thinking he's got it, but then like it got just bounced out. Oh, that would have been pretty decent score, I reckon, what we've seen so far. Obviously, you want to see frontside riding, but that looked pretty meaty. Costa just getting a forward off the lip into a frontside hit on the inside, but even he goes down on that inside hit. Not easy, but Antoine Albert, maybe he's just blown his chance. That could have been it. That looked meaty. Okay, that is the end of the heat, and it is going to be Flesche that takes down Antoine Albert. Big upset there. And Costa going through to the next round. And I have been talking about what happened yesterday, and a few of you might not have seen it. Did you see the highlights from yesterday? Well, if not, we're going to play them for you now. Welcome to day one here in Sylt for the Citroen Windsurfing World Cup. This is the 40th anniversary of this event. And I tell you what, day one is going crazy. The conditions are insane. So much, I really can't get enough. I've been turning up so much, I really can't get enough. There's so much in life to let it all go to waste. I can't get enough. Some insane conditions today, but there'll be no official competition as today is registration day. We've got a full Grand Slam event here. We've got foil men for the first time ever. We have got foil women. We are going to have the world title decided in freestyle men, and we've obviously got wave women and wave men too. Be an insane competition. The conditions and forecasts are looking crazy for the whole week, so join us for the next 9 days. It's going to go off. So there we go. That was what happened yesterday. I know what you're thinking. Oh, I know it would have been so good, but that's just the way it goes. We have got a bit more onshore today. We're still seeing some moves. There's less because it's onshore, but again, the skill level to perform in these tricky conditions is off the scale. So yeah, it's the diehards. They're going to watch the onshore. You know who you are. Thanks for the support. We've got 800 odd people watching. Some Sylt onshore. It's good to see. World titles, not quite on the line, but you could definitely make a good case for doing good. Obviously, we've got Maui, going to be the end event of this year coming up in a couple of weeks. So that will be the final event of the year. And we'll probably determine the world title. Oh, a nasty starboard tack forward there from Dunkerbeck. So who's in the heat? I know what you're thinking. Who's in the heat, Ben? Dunkerbeck is in this heat. Anthony Runes is in this heat. Antoine Martin going against Shamgar. Now, it was interesting because Shamgar, Tom Ayer, who's on your screen now, was in Tenerife kind of going, oh, it's a bit light, or it's whatever. You know, he really likes Pozo. I wonder what he's going to think of Sylt, because this is a whole different ball game to Pozo, and it's a bit of starboard tack. So when I say port and starboard tack, just for people who don't understand that, starboard tack is when your hand is at the right, you know, your right hand is at the front of the boom. So this is starboard tack. So when we say it's starboard tack, it means it's starboard tack jumping. And this is Sylt. It's quite onshore, but there is a hint of starboard tack. So it means it should be easier to jump on starboard and ride on port tack. So when they're coming in, that should be the way you might see these guys riding. But it's so onshore, we have seen jumps going down on port as well. Look at this, look at this. Bowl. Oh, he went a bit early. Never a good idea in Sylt. You go early, and that's what happens. You just, you run out of power. The wave washes your board away from you, and you're done. So you have to go late. It's basically you have to go at exactly the right time in Sylt. If you go early, that can happen. If you go late, you're going to get smashed. You've got to, basically, your timing has to be absolutely on point when it's onshore like this, because you need the hit from the wave to push you out a little bit. Look at that from Dunkerbeck. Really cool to see that iconic name of Dunkerbeck still going strong. And I mean, Liam is definitely doing the family name proud. He's had some great results and some great sailing this year, and he's definitely got the fire. Obviously, one of his best mates, Marino Gill, leading the world title race, and that's going to fire you up. So I think there's definitely a young crew coming. You know, Pare's been hanging out with these boys as well. He's just won in Tenerife, and you're thinking, you know, all those young guys pushing through. Feels like there's a big change going on. Here's that one-footed forward on port tack. So this is not the easy side to jump, but these guys have just got skills. And better skills, I would say, for jumping on port tack. Interesting to see new sponsors from Antoine Martin there. Obviously not the sponsors of this event, but he's got his sail all screen printed up, which I think is pretty cool. You know, are we going to see more of that? And then is there complications? If you, let's say you were sponsored by Toyota, you have your whole sail printed up. Could you then sail an event that's sponsored by Citroen? Actually, that never really thought of that. Not that that's the case with anyone at the moment, but it actually makes me ask the question. Well, there we go. He's actually got sponsored by VW, so maybe that's not a problem. I'm into the jumpy. I've got a big van at the moment, and I'm thinking maybe I need to get a day van. What's everyone got? Who's got big vans out there? I know professional windsurfers have big vans, but what's the normal guy? What's the guy on the street riding? You know, usually the mid vans, isn't it? The transporters, the Vitos, the jumpies, that type of thing. Well, Turbo Dudek says a beer to the first guy that lands a double today. You've already seen it. We had Pare get one. We've had Miguel Chapuis, Costa. I think we've had a couple of others. Yeah, there's been, I think Costa's got the best score. Is Maui confirmed? Yes, as far as I know, it's confirmed from what I've been told. Sassy's saying, Yogi T are the only tea bags I want to be around. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure that's correct, but I think I know what he's saying. Maybe a double meaning to that, but I think he's talking about kiting, not actual tea bag. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Yeah, we got some onshore stuff here in Sylt today. That's how the scores are looking. Dunkerbeck leading ahead of Anthony Runes. This is Anthony Runes on GA. And we've got Antoine Martin with a pretty low score right now, a 5.5, but he's leading ahead of Shamgar. He's got a 1.5 forward, a 1.12 forward, and a 0.5 other. I wonder what that was. An other. Other. Just pouring myself some more Yogi tea. Yogi and tea. I'm going to be going stronger. If my voice survives the week, we're going to thank Yogi. I'm not talking about Yogi Bear. Brita as well. I'm actually drinking this out of a Brita flask as well. I'm getting all the sponsors in. I'm making the use of it. Here we go. Shamgar, what's he got? Oh my God. Is he all right? Oh, that's the heaviest hit we've seen today. Is he okay? Oh. Oh God, I was going to say he went under then. But that was actually a tactical move as he gets absolutely drilled. Oh, that is right there in a nutshell, sailing Sylt. Look at this from the other angle. Oh, I've seen Dunkerbeck do this years ago. Oh, that was the absolute carbon copy of that Dunkerbeck. Does anyone remember that? Oh, that was savage. That was absolutely savage. Anybody been there? Because that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Oh my God. Oh, look on the inside. That was someone going for a goiter. Or was it? Or was that just getting projected? I mean, this is what... I mean, not easy for the sailors, but watching on, you know, wow. Which Yogi tea are you drinking? I think it's in German, so I didn't really pay too much attention. It looked like red, like the packet was like a pinky colour. I think it said something about a woman's drink. I know that sounds daft, but I'm pretty sure it said something like, said about women on it. I thought, yeah, that's me. I mean, I'll get you the packets tomorrow. This is Antoine Martin. So only 3 minutes 30 left in his heat. Wow. Antoine Martin is ahead of Thomas Shamgar, and he had a big smackdown there. Leon Dunkerbeck 5.5 for that 140 back. He just did 3.5 forward, looking better for him. Anthony Runes and Liam are still getting the waves yet. This is Antoine Martin. He's just been in Reunion Islands for about the last month or something. Look like these boys have been scoring. Same as Miguel Chapuis. They have been absolutely scoring. We've got Anton saying had a similar wipeout 2 days ago. Quite scary. I'm sure it was. Some heavy hits out there. I've got a bit of a combo of the Yogi tea anyway. I'll put ginger in it as well and a bit of honey. Shoved it in a flask. I'm good for the morning till half time. Gonna restock. There we go. We've got high protein as well. There's a protein drink. It says like pistachio style drink. I think I saw that in the food court. So I'm going to be getting trying out all the sponsors this week. Oh, Liam Dunkerbeck thought better of it, didn't he? He had a look at that lip and was like, maybe not. I don't think so. So 1 minute 30 on the clock. At the moment, it is looking like Dunkerbeck and Antoine Martin. Antoine Martin's only got 8 points. I mean, the scores have definitely got lower. High tide, onshore, here in Sylt. Day 1 of action. Day 2 of the official event. This is Shamgar. Got the Brita filter. He has definitely been filtered out there in Sylt today. Definitely been through the rinser. What's he got for us? 50 seconds on the clock. Needs to find something big to hit. I mean, if he found something big, it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility to do some damage. But Antoine Martin wants to find something. Oh, quite get that. He went early. Say the early one is almost as difficult as the late one. Got no wall to push off, but it looks like it will be Antoine Martin going through, and at the moment it looks like Dunkerbeck has just secured that other spot with 15 seconds to go. Shamgar, not his best heat there, didn't really get any waves. Well, he did, he got one on the head, but not one he would be wanting to score. Apparently 12 degrees air temperature at the moment. We're talking centigrade for you Americans out there. What sails are they sailing? Well, we saw Tula, who's quite a big fella. It was on a 4-4 earlier. So that gives us a bit of an idea. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back to bring you this onshore action.
Elektromobilität ist nicht länger nur etwas für die Elite. Die Revolution hat begonnen. Der neue Citroën EC3 ab 23.300 €.
Neues von Ehrmann. Du hörst das Knistern, spürst die Vorfreude und schmeckst die Schokolade. Großer Genuss ist Grand Dessert von Ehrmann. Keiner macht mich mehr an.
Okay, this is the next heat up. Julian Salmon going against Kohlberg, Battle of the Germans. And then we got Robbie Swift. Well, he's a sandwich, isn't he? In the German sandwich here with Brandenburg. So, yeah, 3 Germans in this heat, 1 Brit. A few people asking, why have we gone back to man-on-man heats? It's a good question. I think it's to do with the format. I think the 4-man heats was the single pro, as they called it in Pozo. But it is a good question. I did, especially if you're not guaranteed of getting a double. I like the 4-man heats. I'm sure we'll get an official answer, maybe, from the PWA on that. But it is a good question. I like the 4-man heats, especially when you're not the top-ranked sailor or the best sailor out there, those 4-man heats definitely give you an opportunity to, when you do sail good, to upset the form book a little bit. Robbie Swift could be pretty dangerous here in Sylt. He sailed here plenty of times before. Duarte saying riding this wave is a lot more tricky than I thought. Looking at the scores. Yeah, it's not easy. Onshore sailing has never been easier, especially here in Sylt. There's a real chunky shore break. 2.5 for the first forward from Julian Salmon. .62 for the forward from Sprangenberg. Takes an early lead ahead of Robbie Swift. 13-minute heats, 2 waves, 2 jumps to count. Sprangenberg against Swift and Kohlberg against Salmon. Salmon is having a good year this year, isn't he? Where is he in the overalls? Julian Salmon, he's in 7th place at the moment. Got a 2nd in Gran Canaria and a 3rd in Tenerife, 9th in Chile. So a good result here definitely help his cause. Oh, that looked nasty. Brandenburg pretty hard on that one. Liam Dunkerback actually up into 6th place in the overalls. Yeah, solid. And Nicholas saying back in the days, even pros struggled to get out. Shows how the level has increased. Well, to do justice to the other guys, there is more angle today. It's definitely more starboard tack. Like, it can be a bigger shore break, which we'll see, I think, when the tide drops a bit. And it can be a bit lighter and more onshore. And when you put those combinations together, trust me, even the guys with the level they've got these days, it's difficult. Whoa, one-handed backy from Salmon goes down. Sprandenberg, there's that back loop. Oh, yeah, not going well from the beginning, that one. Got Basti from Bremen tuning in. V Gates. We've got Sven from Furman tuning in. Moin. Look at that. That's Sylt from the air. You can see just how much playground there is out there, if you can call it that. So in this heat, who have we got? We've got Julian Salmon going against Kohlberg at the moment. It's advantage from Salmon as Robbie Swift spins into a double forward loop but doesn't get the land in. Starboard tack double from Swifty. Oh, and that was a push loop from Swifty on the replay. Kohlberg just looks like he's landed a back loop. Salmon with a one-handed back loop crash. So obviously definitely better on the port tack jump in Salmon. Trying to get something in the bag. That replay, you can see it's almost off chop using the wind. Looks like it's really picked up now. Could be talking up to 30 knots, I would say. Oh, Swifty, who's got the eyesight? Is that 4-4? Let's see. 5, 4-8? 4-7. I was going to guess 4 something. For people who don't know, I've just turned, well, not just turned, I was 46 this year. My eyesight is literally took a turn for the worst. Anyone else out there in the similar thing? I had 20/20 vision a good few years ago. I don't know what's going on. So I have to get some binoculars. 1 point for that double forward from Swift. That was a bit harsh, but that's what happens when you don't get the landing. Look at that. I mean, such an expanse of water, isn't it? Crazy. But obviously there is a competition area. You can't really go outside of that. Otherwise, you risk not being scored. Kohlberg at the moment has taken the lead ahead of Salmon, and Salmon is crashing right now. He's persevering with that port tack back loop, and he's yet to pull it off. Hasn't rode any waves. We got over halfway through this heat already. Are we seeing maybe an upset in the making? Still time, but you've got to ride waves, and there's no guarantees here. Ooh, and I think that was another takedown on the inside. Rainbow on the outside means there's some rain around. Just going to organise the office. We're going to get a co-commentator in here. Look at that from the top. So this is Julian Salmon. Does he finally get that back loop? No, I would look at that. No, I was going to say no. Looking at that takeoff, didn't look like it nailed it. Oh, and he's got a bit of a swim. Wow, could we see an upset? Well, it does feel like something could go down now. Henry Kohlberg has not got a huge score, but he's sailed here a few times in Sylt, and he's had a couple of good results nationally, I think. I think he's actually won one of the national comps here, if I'm not mistaken. Just, like I say, getting a bit organised here. Because we have got Mr. Roof Rack himself. We got Simon Tula in the house. How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good, good. You're not relation to the Tula Roof Racks, are you?
No.
Okay, just
all.
checking. Okay, nothing
I wish.
nothing to do with them. All right, how is it out there? Give us a clue. I saw you were on a 4.4.
Yeah.
So how powered up were you?
In the beginning, it was quite okay, and then in the end of the heat, I came into the shore break, and I took a wave, and then yeah, then I felt okay. Now it's lighter, so actually I changed during the heat.
To what size?
4.8.
4.8. Okay.
94.
How windy is it? People are asking in knots.
Well, I think maybe.
Meters per second. You're Danish,
No,
aren't
yeah,
you?
but I think maybe like maximum 30 knots.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
25, 30 knots. Something
Yeah, I
like
would say that.
that. Okay. That's good, because that's what I guessed.
Yeah.
I've lost track of knots these days. Ben, you lost Swift's crash in the wave. I missed Swift's crash in the wave. Apologies. So Swift has obviously just had a bit of a big takedown. Maybe we've got it on replay, but so 3 minutes 30 in the. Is it cold out there? I mean, you're Danish, so maybe it's not a good example of. You can tell us. It's probably not cold for you.
It was okay, I
Yeah.
would say. But I mean, this time of the year, it's getting just colder and colder, and especially doing competition in this is a bit hard, because then you're out for like 15 minutes and then back in and wait for your next heat, and then you start to get
the
cold.
waiting around is the
Yeah.
cold bit, isn't it? That is
Yeah.
the thing. At the moment, Kohlberg is leading ahead of Julian Salmon. Obviously, not big scores. Salmon has crashed every back loop. He's persevering with that port tack back loop, but he hasn't rode any waves yet, looking at the scores here, which could be, I mean, crazily costly for Julian Salmon here. I mean, he's got 3 back loop attempts, all crashes. Robbie Swift on the inside. Look at this thing. Oh, I was going to say, he thought better of it. That thing was about to explode.
And what kind of tech did Julian jump on? I didn't see it.
Port tack.
Port tech.
He's
okay.
really persevered. Port tack, port tack, port tack all the way. But I think it looks harder and harder to jump on port tack now. With a higher tide, it's maybe not as easy.
Yeah.
There's definitely more angle on starboard.
Yeah, I mean, doing the third heat today, I felt it was hard still also to jump on the port tech side.
Yeah.
You had to go so much downwind, and then just in the end, use the speed to get a little bit of height.
So Salmon at the moment is Well, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. He's right up there in the world rankings. He's had some, you know, his first podiums this year. And, yeah, this is not what he wanted to do. Henry Kohlberg could be causing the upset. On the other side of the draw, Swift is just ahead of Brandenburg, but it's not a big lead. So conditions have definitely got trickier because you can just see in the scores, there's not much between them. But Henry Kohlberg could be causing an upset. But it would take one jump, one wave, and that all changes. And that can happen in less than a minute. You know, you do a jump on the way in, and then literally land and then ride a wave on the way in. It could happen super quickly. You probably only need 20 seconds because once you start riding the wave, it counts. So it can still happen even though we've only got 1:15 to go. And there's Kohlberg. Does he get the backy? He does.
Oh.
He does get the backy. Does that improve? He's already got a 2.88. Maybe that's a little bit better. Wow.
But he still need a wave.
He does need a wave, but Julian's got no waves on here. Unless there's a glitch in the matrix. But 55 seconds to go. I mean, I've seen bigger shocks happen here in Sylt. It is a place which sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Nothing adds up. Every wave you go to ride disappears. Every jump you go to do, the wave doesn't work. You know, you really can get caught out. I think this is Dieter van Dijken warming up for the next heat. Cooling down, one of the two. But Julian Salmon, looking at the live scores we've got here, Brandenburg's not far away from Swift either. If he lands a jump, if he lands a backy, Brandenburg could also cause a big upset here.
And he's, I think, almost better on starboard tech.
Yeah.
Jumping, so it could.
Well, 10 seconds to go. By my reckoning, I don't. It's over. Henry Kohlberg has just taken down Julian Salmon. Wow. Yeah, the timing is correct. That's the hooter. And unless there's a glitch and the scores have not come through, Salmon has not rode one wave. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll have to see. Officially, this is Simon Tula.
There.
But yeah, we're waiting for scores to drop in. I'm like just refreshing at the moment, but it looks like Kohlberg has taken down Salmon. Wow. What do you make of that?
Impressive, but also I think Julian must be disappointed right now.
Very. I mean, like I said, on our scores, he's not rode one wave.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you lose a heat, if you know, like, okay, you did the best, that's how it is, you're of course disappointed, but if you know you didn't even catch a wave, you will...
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's a 13-minute heat. Sounds like a long time, but it goes quick out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was quick. And
goes quick.
You just have to look all the time, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, you think 13 minutes, how many runs do you get in 13 minutes? It's not crazy amount of runs, is it really?
No, but somehow I actually felt it was you had a bit more time doing this than maybe if you were in Tenerife, because you could actually jump and ride on both sides here.
Yeah, okay.
So you somehow get a little bit extra.
Yeah, here we go. Next heat coming up. We've got Mauricio from Italy going against Dieter van Dijken. We've got Marsilio Brown going against Anton Richter. Is this Anton Richter? Yeah, Anton Richter. Yeah, could we see any more upsets? I saw Brown out there this morning, did a perfect double.
Yeah,
when I saw him. So I was like, yeah, he looks like he's onto it. I mean, he's won here in Sylt before. Has he won? I remember he won the world title here in Sylt, but did he win the event? No, he didn't. But I think it was he had a comeback where he was just getting through all the heats. But yeah.
But he's definitely one who could take the title here.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Here we go. Bit of pumping going on. We'll wait for some official results. In fact, I'll read out some official results so far. We've had Traversa winning, Paré winning. We've had Chapuis taking down Jammer. That was a big one. We got Nero also going through, keeping his dream alive. We got Sugi and Fernandez, Denel and Marino Gill. We got Fleche taking down Antoine Albert. That was a bit of an upset. Costa. We've got Dunkerbeck already through. Antoine Martin going through. And Kohlberg and Swift. So Julian Salmon is out. Look at that. Nice backy from Brown down that bottom end. And then who's this on the green? So is that Mauricio?
Green.
Mauricio, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is.
Not used to seeing it on a green sail.
No, normally he's on the red.
Yeah.
Is it?
So
This one, sorry.
got some new incredible Hulk sails. Be interesting. Has he sailed Sylt before? I'm not sure he has actually. Look at that. Look at the takeoff. It's so downwind, getting the height. You know, he is, I mean, so good on starboard tack. We know he's good on port tack as well, but it's crazy when you see him on port tack and then you see him on starboard. You're like, oh, okay. He's just equally amazing on both now.
Yeah.
So 11 minutes, and this is the last heat of the first round. So we're already into the second round. Oof, look at that on the inside. It's like spitting, and the wind has definitely dropped a little bit or gone a bit more onshore. And this is when you can get caught out on the inside. You know, no matter who you are, you could be Marsilio Brown, but you can still get sideswiped by some logo high steamroller. It's you know, it doesn't know who you are, the waves out there. Sometimes you're just a sitting duck just waiting for the explosion.
And this wave, like if it's side shore, it can be hard to go through it, but if it's onshore, it's impossible.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Go back loop from Mauricio.
Nice. Oh.
We've got Billy saying for slalom fans, the wind changed a lot over the coming days and offshore at times. Yeah, we'll be getting some difference. I mean, the forecast's been all over the place. At one point I looked and it looked like we were getting side shore for like 3 days in a row or something, and then it all changed around. This is Anton Richter. Just been up in Klitmuller. I actually think he won the
slalom.
The slalom in the under 21s.
Yeah,
Finn slalom.
I think Finn. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Bit of an all. Oh, look at that! It's going light, isn't it? The wind is forecast to go lighter.
yeah,
And light and onshore still is just absolutely crazy. There is still a bit of angle, and there we go. Brasinho, I think, is already changing up. He's making a change. Got his caddies on the game, and look at it. You can already see it's dropped. They were forecasting it to drop.
I just had everything rigged from 4.0 to 5.6.
Yeah, you need everything.
Yeah, you need everything. And
Someone said to me, Ben, why don't you go? And I was like, because Sylt, you got to bring everything. You need, like, you can't just, it's not like Pozo where you can bring a couple of sails and be like, I'll be fine. Like Sylt, you literally need everything. It can be crazy. Like yesterday, what were people on yesterday? Full power 4.0,
Yeah.
3.7 stuff going down. And then today we might even end up with 5.6s, you know,
I think so.
something like that, something big for the big boys. There's a lot of people out there like, yeah, it's good to see the pros struggling in the onshore, you know. I can see it now. It's like, yeah, that's it. Now you're getting the real conditions that we all have to live with. None of this easy sideshore business. Dropping though. This is one of the better days of wave. That's the crazy thing. Like, it was looking like we had like a couple of sideshore days in a row, and then the forecast just flipped super quick, and then it looked like yesterday was going to be the only day where we saw real sideshore. But it could change.
Yeah, usually you cannot look more than 2 or 3 days in front.
Yeah, or even a couple of hours here.
Yeah.
So it changes pretty quick. So far, Dieter van der Eycken is leading ahead of Mauricio. Not much in it, though. And then Brasinho with that 5-point back loop. But you can see, and this is what we're about to see, Brasinho trying to head out through that shore break. You know, one of, if not the best guy in the world. And, you know, he's dealing with some serious current on that inside. No matter who you are, it is not easy.
I mean, it's not usual you see Marsilio after 6 minutes only have like
One jump.
One jump.
And that jump happened at the beginning on that gust. And you see Anton Richter there. That side swipe is just so hard. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Brasinho. He's still on the inside. Like people saying, oh, people don't make it out in the old days and now the new guys are better. But there is still, you can see a bit of starboard tack angle. If that goes even more onshore, wow, they're cancelling. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I didn't think they'd... Well, I mean, it's definitely not the best heat we've seen, but with the forecast we've got,
maybe
it's light in it. It is,
yeah.
I mean, it is super light.
But maybe it's more just to let all get in, bring that big
Change the
gear. Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I mean, the hardest thing we're going to see here is the riding. When it goes light and onshore, it is so difficult. I mean, what do you do? Like, your time, well, that's what you do. You get absolutely, you go, I mean, I'm laughing, but more from like, I've been there, so I just know how it feels. It can make the best guy in the world look like an amateur. It really does, and it's kind of hurtful coming back to the beach. Sometimes you just want to put your head in the sand and just hide, because it's like, I can imagine how Julian felt in his heat. It's just you're like, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. But you know, some people make it look good, and this is the conditions we've seen in the past where it's onshore now. And I think I set off 2 heats in advance one year, and I only just made it out halfway into my heat. And it was just like this side swipe all the way out. And it was pretty big. And sometimes you just get lucky and it opens up. But you can see now the red Citroen is just going to get smashed all the way.
Yeah, and then you end up down to the pier or the rocks, and then you...
Exactly. Then there's a pier down here, and the beach moves away. So it goes even more onshore. It was like one of my first years here. And it was, yeah, this is the whole, you can see the whole event. Look how big this event is. Such a great event to get the people here, but the sideshore is what we wanted, wasn't it? We were praying. Everyone saw that forecast and was like, "Oh, what? We're gonna be living it."
It's gonna be the show, and then
yeah. I mean, it was yesterday. It was great to watch.
So
there was
fun.
So much good action going down. So yeah, that is what you're dealing with, really. You know, and let's hope. What is the forecast looking like? Okay. Scared to look at this forecast. I'm gonna just put into Google and see what we get here. Obviously, the first forecast you always type into is when you get Maui, and you're like, oh, it looks good, and then oh no, I've got to put in the right one. Yeah, no problem. Just look at that. That is, I mean, the sun is shining.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. Like, looking at the forecast, yeah, wow. It really has changed, doesn't it? So Saturday, which is today, we've got that northwest. It is meant to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
All day.
But
so
when you see, we have like a Danish forecast, and on that one it looks a bit patchy.
Okay.
And I guess that's because of the clouds and everything, and then maybe in like 20 minutes it's gonna be a bit rainy and the wind's gonna pick up again.
Okay, okay. So it looks like, well, today's looking like a good option today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, not so good.
No.
Although, if we get, what direction's that? We could get side
shore, but
this side on, isn't it?
But the waves are small, and
you never know. Sometimes you get this little minimum sort of moment that goes through, and then by Monday, Tuesday, we're already on the offshore. Wow.
Yeah, but that, I think it's a big low pressure, and at the moment it's a bit south, and if it goes more up to the north, it's probably going to be southwest again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what people don't realize. I said something in the video about, the forecast looking good. It was looking good. Yeah. It really was, and then it kind of just switched, and that's what Simon's saying. Like, if that moves a little bit more, we could get something. It could actually be epic.
Yeah.
You know, like, it really is like a matter of hardly anything. So what we'll do, we're going to have a long day today. We're going to take a ad break, and as soon as we get back with the action, we'll be back to bring you the live commentary.
Elektromobilität ist nicht länger nur etwas für die Elite. Die Revolution hat begonnen. Der neue Citroën EC3 ab 23.300 €.
Neues von Ehrmann. Du hörst das Knistern, spürst die Vorfreude und schmeckst die Schokolade. Großer Genuss ist Grand Dessert von Ehrmann. Keiner macht mich mehr an.
Yeah, got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with them. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with them.
Everything should end and begin at sunrise. And in between, there should be the sea, the food, the people, the music, the wind, love, and pleasure. I'm 42 years old, and this is my first sunrise. There are 1,000 reasons to come to Punta Cana to watch this sunrise, and 999 more. Taste the paradise. Taste Punta Cana.
Rising up, pushing up to the summit. Got the keys to the show, yeah, we running. Give it all for the win, this is our day. Energy, energy, unleash the inner beast. Energy, energy, rising to the top, see you at the peak.
Okay, so, well, no updates at the moment. We are on standby. If you're just tuning in, we've just had a heat cancellation conditions. Well, the wind dropped quite a bit.
Yeah.
Simon Tula sitting next to me, co-commentator, has been out there. Come on, give us your thoughts on Sylt. How many times you sailed here before?
2 times. Actually, first
This is your second time?
Yeah. First year was last year, and then this year.
What's your takeaways from Sylt?
Oh, I think. I mean,
It's a psychological game. I
Yeah,
mean, I've
for
been
sure.
out there a lot of years here, and I've definitely paid my dues. I'd probably, forgive me if you've heard this story before, but my first ever Sylt, there was Pozo and then there was Sylt. In Pozo, I finished 5th. So I was like, and Sylt was the last event of the year. I'm like, wow, I could really hit it. And I was like, my first ever time doing the world tour. So I'd already got a 5th. People were talking about me, Fanatic, and all these people like, oh, we're going to sponsor this guy. And I came to Sylt. I got absolutely killed. I went out, it was like starboard tack, onshore, like I didn't get out the first round. And then they only got to the final 16 riders. It was when Scott McKercher won his world title, and that was it. Then there was no wind for the rest of the week. We had one day a bit like this, but a bit more starboard tack, and that was it. So, and then I was sitting there, gone from 5th in the world to 25th in the world. That was it. And I knew the forecast was just terrible. So I was like, my first impression of Sylt, I just partied the whole week because I was like, I knew there was no wind, and it was like, well, whatever, I'm going to make the most of it. But yeah, I was absolutely devastated, I've got to be honest. But since then, I've had good moments in Sylt as well. But it's just not an easy place.
No,
Like, the wave has got so much power.
I was surprised first time I went here because a lot of guys was like telling me, yeah, it's a super powerful wave, and I was like, yeah, I just came from South Africa now, of course, and I live in the North Sea, so I know the waves here, they're not that powerful, and then you come to the sandbar and it's like 20 centimeters of water, and you're just gonna...
And it's like the movement underneath, like your board gets pulled sometimes.
It's like the wave really just sucks up, and then it's so hard to do like a proper turn in the pocket because then you just dropping, you're gonna drop.
Yeah. It's so hard. I was saying before, like timing in Sylt is just everything. If you go too early, you're doomed because then you're on the top of it and you come down with the lip. If you go too late, well, this is just over. So your timing has to be absolutely. You have to get hit and you have to get a bit of kind of forward projection. If you don't get that forward projection, good night. Good night, you've gone. So there's so many things you can't always tell them just watching the videos. But when you go out there for the first time, and I know how Julian Salmon felt in that heat, it is just demoralizing. You're one of the best guys in the world. You're out there, and you just cannot find that ramp. I mean, he had a few opportunities for that back loop, and he tried a couple of one-handed ones, and maybe should have just
played it a bit more safe.
Played it a bit safe. And again, it's much easier to do in hindsight. Let's have a look what the update. Okay, we'll try 10:15. So in 10 minutes time, it looks like they are going to try the next heat. So they will be trying it. It won't be the next heat. It will be a rerun of that heat. So I can see, looks like Marsilio Brown on the beach at the moment, putting his bigger boards. There's Marc Paré. He's got a fluoro board. It's like he's come from the dark. It's like with the fluoro, looks like he's got all the new kit. I mean, he comes into the team. I mean, I never left. He left, came back, and he's got all the new gear. To be fair, he did just win the last event in Tenerife, so fair enough. He is quite good. But oh my God, I haven't even seen this kit in real life. It's not fair. It's not fair. Come on. Right, let's have a look at the comments. Let us know where you're watching, who you're cheering for. Are you sticking with us? We've got a few wind experts, weather experts on there. I'll run you through the draw. I mean, I just did it before, but we've had... Oh, no, we haven't. This is the last heat of the first round. Do you know how far we have to get before this counts as a result?
Last year it was only first round.
Yeah, and then it would count. So you guys, if you get to the next round, would be equal first. But you would... Okay, so there's a really interesting point now. So there is a problem at the moment between PWA point scoring and the IWT. As far as I understand it, the question is the equal places. So should 9th place just count as 9th place? Whether you're shared with 10 people or shared with 2 people, 9th. One argument is they should just count 9th and that's it. Yeah. And then I think the normal system that PWA do was you basically add up the points if there's 10 of you and then divide it by how many people share that points, which makes sense to me. And
I
I've
agree.
just come up with the perfect scenario of how the other system would be wrong. Because if all these guys share first place, you're not going to give them all first place points.
No, that would be crazy.
So there we go. That argument surely is solved.
Yeah, in this case.
Well, but,
Yeah, but
if
it-
this is the one case, you
yeah.
can't say, oh, but if this happens, we can't do that.
No, I fully
Because
agree.
in that system that the problem is, there is these two things going on. Again, it's all behind the scenes, but, you know, that will get solved. But for some reason, which is alien to me, I don't know why it's not been solved yet, but this is the perfect scenario to explain why you can't do it the other way. Because we can't have 16 people sharing, all having first place 10,000 points.
Oh, no.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And what you would do in the system that we've been doing for a long time is add up the 16 guys. You add up the points from first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way to 16th, and you divide it by 16.
Yeah.
And that makes
Makes
sense.
super good sense.
So there we go. I've solved it. It's all solved. Anyway, like I say, I'm not quite sure what's happening out there, but to me, I feel like it's a very obvious thing that is how it should do. You know, you get a certain amount of pie, and if 5 people share the pie, everyone gets an equal share of it, which is kind of how it works. Seems like the cloud has brought the wind. That's yeah, let's see. It looks like it's picked up now.
Yeah.
Look at that. Cranking. I mean, that's really cranking.
Yeah, now it's probably like full power 4-5 again.
Wow. Okay, we're on, people. It looks like we are on. Yeah, I was just sorry. I was just checking what is actually happening here with when we're going, but we are going. That's what it says. So if you think I'm just texting my friends, I apologise. I'm just dealing with some other stuff. But we are going. That's it. Same format. It's going to be a 13-minute heat, 2 waves, 2 jumps to count. And the wind has definitely picked up. You can see the foam is flying. I mean, looks really windy now. Maybe even the windiest we've had it today.
But you can also see on the left side, it's a bit cloudy and dark, so there might be some rain soon.
Yeah. And for people who, you know, live in nicer places, different places where you don't get these fronts coming through, usually before the rain, you get this push where the wind gets pushed out, and then when the rain comes, usually the wind drops.
Yeah.
And we've had that before quite a lot, you know, sailing up in this northern part of Europe. You get those big kind of windy bits coming through before the rain, but when the rain comes, the wind does drop. So yeah, it looks like they are getting organized right now. Yeah. Just waiting to see. Can't see the flags, but I'm sure we are getting ready. You can see Marsilio Brown kind of running around on the beach. Looks like he's chosen his weapons of choice by the looks of it.
Doesn't look too big.
No. I mean, this looks crazy windy. We actually can feel the container shaking a little bit.
But this only makes the onshore sailing more interesting, I think. Because when you are like out there with a 5.2 and a 100-liter board onshore, you don't want to be stuck on the inside. And now with the 4.5, you can actually still play a little bit in the shore break. And
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
because I think normally when you see Sylt, it's gonna be like when it's getting light, people are like riding the big ones on the outside a lot of the time, and I still feel it's more exciting in the shore break.
Yeah, I mean, we just need that little bit of angle.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as it goes too onshore, that ride in the shore break is over. It's, you know, you need that little bit of angle. We had that little bit of starboard tack. What is the forecast today? Is there going to be any change in the direction?
Yeah,
It should go a little bit more
onshore. Yeah.
Okay, that's not good. I was hoping it was going to be the opposite, because if it goes more north, we get more starboard tack.
Yeah.
If it goes more west, we get more onshore. And it is meant to go a little bit more onshore. Yeah. And then the tides drop in, and then you get those real wedgy absolute steamers. You
But
know,
it also
higher
get-
tide can be hard. It can be harder.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean, now the shore break's going to be a little smaller.
Yeah.
But maybe
critical.
more hollow though.
Yeah,
But
exactly. I don't know what I'd prefer. It's like, well, we got a bit of that. I'm not sure. But we are going pretty soon, hopefully. Neil Pride heading out. Okay, 2 minutes 30 until the go. But you can see the wind. You can see people standing on the beach. Just the way they're standing, they're leaning into the wind, which usually means it's pretty breezy. Just looking at the drone boys coming in, they're dressed up like they're going snowboarding. So yeah, Mauricio going against Vander Eichen, and Marcelio Brown going against Anton Richter. Brown, he looks like he might have lost a bit of weight, maybe, I don't know. Looks. We've got the red flag, I think, just gone up. So 2 minutes until the start. German, Brazilian, Belgian, and Italian. Did you see the slalom boys
in Denmark.
yesterday on the waves?
Ah, on the waves. Ah, yeah, with the wave gear. Yeah, they got.
It was pretty cool. We had who do we have? We had, was Yakino out yesterday?
I think maybe Aquino.
Yeah. So Bruno Martini was out. I never seen him on a waveboard. Jordi Vonk, Maciek Rakowski,
Alex Kozan.
Kozan was out. Mortafon was out. It was. I'm probably missing a few, but it was good. I like it. I'd love to see that sort of, maybe some heats.
I think they sent it quite good.
Yeah. No, it was good. I enjoyed watching it. I mean, the big boys as well. So maybe we have a heavyweight division in the waves.
90 kilo plus.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, from what I saw, I thought Maciek might have won.
Yeah.
I saw him knocked out a few jumps, not bad wave rides. A few of them had some pretty big takedowns. Pierre had a pretty nasty one. Maciek had a pretty good one as well. But yeah, I think Maciek definitely won on the jumps. Look at that! It's cranking. And there's rain coming. There's a big rainbow. So how long will it last? I don't know. It is meant to be pretty windy all day.
Yeah, but it can be windy in the rain as well.
This is going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard. But that's what we want. You know, this is the World Cup. It ain't easy out there. It's definitely not easy. I'm kind of happy to be here in the commentary booth, I have to say. And there we go. That's the green flag, I think. We are up and running. You just got to find someone. Or maybe we're not. Oh, there we are. Yeah, there we go. So this is Anton Richter on the Neil Pride JP. Young German rider.
Could it look like it already changed a bit?
It does. It looks a bit more onshore, doesn't it? They look. I can see it already lining up the port tack jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely more angle. There's there's definitely over more or less depending which way you're going. There's more port tack angle, which it was backwards before, but then Brasinho, was that a double?
I didn't.
It
I only saw
wouldn't
that.
surprise me, but maybe not. Was it?
Could.
We're about to find out. Oh, hello. Bang.
I just feel like he wouldn't just go for a single.
No, that's what I was thinking. Like, unless it was a really small wave, and he just was. But yeah, I thought I heard a woo from the beach, which made me think it might have been a double. Here we go. Looking pretty similar. Oh, God, that was a... Oh, he made it. I thought he missed the nose. Well, definitely wind helps. The more onshore it is, the more wind you need, basically. Light and onshore don't go together. Windy and onshore, you can make it work. It can be exciting. We're going to see some big stuff. Yeah, there we go. Double forward, 7-4-5. And the perfect backy as well, 5-3-8. Advantage Brown. I mean, he's beat people with just 2 jumps there. Yeah, this was the second back loop. Really cool drone shot, that. Nice. Yeah, solid from Brown. What a start. What a start. If we carry on with a starboard tack onshore, he's going to be tricky to beat. Really is. He's prepared as well. Here he goes. Oh, he's got... Oh, this could be interesting. Even Brown is thinking no.
Oh, no.
Oh, clue first.
Oh,
Jesus. Oh, God, he bounced back up then. Still in the straps. And that just says it all. This is one of, if not the best guy in the world, and he's double guessing, do I hit that kind of thing? It's the drone always makes it look a little less menacing than it actually is. So that thing was thick. Yeah, the wind is cranking right now. If you are just joining us, this is the Citroen Windsurfing World Cup in Germany, Sylt, the island of Sylt. And we are on as that clue first wave ride. It is a really good tool to have, that clue first wave ride, but obviously it doesn't always work. Someone asking here what fin setup the pros mostly using. It's really like different for every rider.
Yeah.
What have you got?
I have a thruster right now.
Thruster, yeah. I mean, a lot of people might pick a thruster here in Sylt to get something like a bit more of a something to push off.
Yeah.
But there'll still be people riding quads.
To me, it's just like when I'm here or at home, like in Denmark, it's nice with the current to have the thruster. It helps you to get a little lift under the back foot and go a little bit better upwind.
Yeah.
But then when I go to Australia or Cape Town or something like that, where riding is more, I like to go back to quad.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Like I say, and I see that with a few riders, especially on the bigger boards here in Sylt. You know, and that onshore stuff, that little bit of push, extra push you can push through your back foot does definitely help. Yeah, not much wave riding action so far. 0.5 from Brown and a 1.12 from Mauricio. A couple of failed jumps from Dieter van der Eycken. Back loop crash, forward crash, back loop crash, forward crash. So he's putting in another crash actually. So not quite finding his jumping rhythm at the moment. He's got a push loop 2.38. I think he was going to launch straight into another one then. Oh, Anton Richter. For the push loop, bit of spray on that landing, and Dieter's down again going for another jump. So he's just bashing them out and going for the numbers game. The more chances you take, maybe you get one.
Nice little spin loop.
He's got his work cut out, Anton Richter. I mean, Brazinho already racking up 16.3 points. And he's not really scoring a second wave at the moment. So we might see the first guy go over 20. Have we seen anyone go over 20 yet? I'm pretty sure we haven't.
Was the second best score Traversa?
Yeah.
With the 18 something?
Yeah. I could see Brown going over 20 in this heat. Yeah, he could do. It's going to depend on what waves he can find out there.
And he's rigging down, I think.
Yeah, 18.87 for Traversa. So that's the highest, one of the highest heat scores, if not the highest heat score today.
Yeah.
He had some decent waves. Had that frontside 360 as well.
But he also one of the guys who's usually good here in Sylt.
Yeah. Is he going bigger?
No, I think smaller. He did
going smaller, but carry the gear up the beach.
Yeah, maybe.
He's like, give me some extra upwind legs.
Yeah, that was the same for me. Like Leonard wanted to go down to me with the gear, and I was like, "Stay up there, stay up there. I don't want to be down there."
It's not a nice place to be
No.
further down. Here we go, Dieter van der Eycken. Oh, Marsilio Brown heading out. I mean, he's pretty much got his jumps in, hasn't he? He doesn't really need to upgrade his jumps, but this is Marsilio Brown, so you never know. Dieter van der Eycken, that has got to be the most jumps I've seen in 6 minutes ever. He's tried a back loop, a push loop, a forward loop, a back loop, a forward loop, a back loop, a back loop, a back loop, and a forward loop.
And then
All in this heat
what
so
happened
far.
if we are over the 10?
I'm going to say, he's only got really one more chance to... he's just done another one. Was that him? No, that wasn't him. Or was it? No. No, that's Mauricio on his red sail now. Yeah, Dieter's not really got much room left. What happens when you go over 10? Is there a maximum
No,
amount?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but there's no more spaces.
On the website, at least. Or
Yeah, good point. This is Federico, forward loop. Oh, Brown on the inside.
It's a good hit.
Yeah, decent. And anything that looks good is even harder than
Yeah.
what it looks, so...
Because the thing here is, when you want to hit it really good, it's so unsure also, so you kind of need to open up the sail, and you don't want to lean too much back, because then you're not going to catch the wind again, and you don't want to be too much on the front foot, because then you're not going to turn.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, that's
So-
the thing. It's the timing is just
Yeah.
insane how you have to position yourself. And it ain't the easiest wave to read sometimes. You know, sometimes it is. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
But you can be pretty sure it's going to dump at some point.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You could definitely be sure there's going to be some power there. It's just when and when it gets delivered. Some of them hold up longer than you think, and then you're like, oh, no. Here we go. This could be interesting from
Oh.
Riggs. Oh, my God.
no.
No. God. Oh, it's a double.
Yeah, a double forward.
Does that count as a double forward? Oh, my God. That was a strange decision.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like-
but I think he didn't realize that it's going to ball up so quick.
Oh, no. That was really devastating. That was pretty cool, though. Wow. Double forward. That's the first double forward I've seen like that. Look at this thing dredge up as he lands. You kind of like...
But it's pretty flat there.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, no. He's stuck on the top. And you're like,
yeah,
oh, shit,
oh.
double forward. Oh, he's lucky he didn't break the mast, to be fair. If he'd have held on, I think that mast was going, because he would have just drove it into the beach. Brown on 18.53 points with 3 minutes to go. Dieter van der Eycken at the moment, and Mauricio having a real battle here. Just 0.5 in it.
And I think that wave could advance for Mauricio. Or was it Dieter?
I'll be honest, sometimes when I just quickly check. I mean, he's a good compared to this bloke. No wonder he's won a few world titles. He's doing what he needs to do. He backs in those big jumps at the beginning, and now he's just sort of getting some flowing wave rides in the bank. I mean, the judges don't throw so many points at those